Pearl Standard asserts that in modern economic society, currency is the only pathway for individuals to access freedom, albeit an imperfect one. It argues that only through currency issuance aligned with free will can people attain greater degrees of freedom and consequently experience maximum happiness, freedom being the ultimate aspiration of humanity throughout recorded history. Since the dawn of recorded history, the yearning for freedom has been a central theme of philosophical inquiry and discussion among all of humanity. Freedom has always been the ultimate aspiration of human nature. From the freedom of food acquisition through hunting and farming to the liberation from physical shackles as slaves, human progress has always been synonymous with the advancement of free will. Philosophers from both Eastern and Western civilizations, from figures like Siddhartha Gautama, Laozi, and Zhuangzi to Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, have echoed the call for human freedom, often during the same historical periods. By the 17th century, the renowned English philosopher John Locke formulated a systematic theory about humanity's longing for freedom. In his influential work, An Essay Concerning Human Understanding, Locke posited the crucial argument that free will is inherent to human nature. However, philosophical musings confined to ivory towers have often been nothing more than idealistic dreams of philosophers, disconnected from the intricate tapestry of human societal life, especially economic activities. The progression of human society, including economic activities, has continued to evolve under centralized social models dictated by monarchs' mandates, national interests, and the interests of financial conglomerates. Currency, playing a pivotal role as a medium of exchange in economic activities, has become a tightly controlled financial instrument, subject to strict monopolization and control. The Austrian economist Hayek proposed the famous free money theory and the concept of monetary diversity. Hayek emphasized that only by achieving freedom in currency issuance, no longer monopolized by states or organizations, and with both individuals and private institutions having the power to issue currency, can the true freedom attributes of currency be restored. This restoration is essential for the stable and healthy development of economic activities within a framework of free market order.
Von Hayek, because what he said in here was about people taking control and people issuing their own money.
Present-day currencies are no longer consensus commodities driven by people's free will, but are entirely instruments of interest group will. Interest group will can distort the value prices of goods and arbitrarily intervene in the market's invisible hand, leading to serious deviations in the final balance consensus of people's free will and allowing the prices of goods circulating in society to be entirely at the whim of fiat currency issuers. Once currency no longer requires consensus from people's free will, it inevitably leads to cyclical inflation due to the will of the state leadership and interest groups, causing people to lack a sense of security and happiness in economic activities due to the entrenched structural flaw of inflation. The leverage effect of deposit currency mechanisms and the amplification effect of shadow banking can further expand the volume of currency in economic activities without limit, completely emptying the individuality of free will and naturally erasing the commonality that serves as a sign of consensus. The Pearl Standard believes that only by achieving a balance between individuality and commonality can the balance between economic foundation and superstructure be achieved, leading to a healthy and orderly world in the future. Although the Nobel laureate Hayek's groundbreaking theory posed significant challenges to the Keynesianism embraced by governments worldwide for many years, Hayek did not have the opportunity to put his theory into action. The Pearl Standard believes that currency is inherently a commodity and can only return to its essence through diversification and a return to free market competition, where good money drives out bad. The Pearl Standard is just one of the absolute standard currencies willing to participate in this competition. The core idea of the Pearl Standard is to restore the essence of currency by establishing a transaction consensus ecosystem based on free will and to achieve a balance between free currency and legal tender currency. It is important to emphasize that the expression of free will in the Pearl Standard in the process of currency issuance and transactions completely rejects the centralized minting model controlled by platforms or a few individuals. The Pearl Standard is an absolute standard digital encrypted currency that transcends the concept of nationhood but is anchored by reliable anchorages. The world is inherently imperfect, and the Pearl Standard strives to achieve a balanced perfection between fiat and free currencies. However, the Pearl Standard sees itself as just one of the diligent worker ants in humanity's search for good money.